Yeah, just waiting on notification. I'm happy, and this really means a lot to me. All right, here we go. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have an amazing guest with us today, someone who I've had the honor of knowing for quite some time. This businesswoman and man, just an inspiration to everyone who's ever come into contact with her. Bianca, thank you very much for coming on the People's Podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Josh.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, the first thing we want to know is, how did you start your business?
By accident. I tell people all the time, I am an accidental entrepreneur for sure. Okay. So I, for the past 18 years, I have worked in public health, specifically HIV. And I think I needed a creative outlet. The work I was always doing was important and impactful, but kind of heavy. And so it was June 2013. I was home. I was working in the evenings and home during the day with my son. And I tell people all the time, I saw a piece of fabric in a corner and I wrapped it around a bracelet. And then I was like, that looks kind of good. And then I started making earrings and bracelets, just some fabric wrap stuff just for me to wear. And my mother, being very Jamaican, was like, no, you need to sell that. So so I just started making jewelry, honestly, for friends, for family. And since then, it's just grown to kind of my, I call it my part-time passion, but my full-time dream, because I'm still very much working very full-time. I'm still in public health, but I love it. Every piece of jewelry that I make, or now I'm doing journals, and I've expanded. I have a line of t-shirts for men, women, kids, like anything.
You gotta send me something. You gotta send me a shirt. Send me a shirt so I can wear it. I'll support.
I gotta put it on. But yeah, so that's really, so since 2013, I've just been making dope things with my hands. And it really is heart and love that goes into it. When I see somebody in my jewelry, it's a sense of pride. People tell me how they feel about my since COVID, I've been making journals because people have feelings now and they want somewhere to put them.
Yeah.
So I've been making a lot of journals. That's been great too. You know, just folks need an outlet right now, you know, and so if I can do anything to help that or provide a space for that, I do. So yeah, so since 2013, it's just kind of been in the space of like, okay, what's next? I started with jewelry. I did I did shirts. There are the journals, and just trying to think of what's going from there. But the cool thing is that I have always had a love and a passion for something that I didn't know I would have a passion for. I originally thought when I left high school that I was going to be a history teacher. That was what I thought. Didn't see myself in public health. Definitely didn't see myself owning my own business, but it has really changed my life in a lot of ways. I get to put a creative energy into something. My kids get to see me creating because I can't explain to them what I do. Like, it's very abstract. But Grace is like, Mommy, I saw you making earrings and no one wants me to make him a journal. And so it's like, yeah, it's dope for them to see me, you know, creating and doing my own thing.
Beautiful. Okay. And I'm proud of you and happy for you.
Thank you.
My sister Mimi says, peace, fam. Peace, Mimi. My next question for you is, how can we support you in your business?
Online. So I try to stay up on my social media platforms, which I feel like is a full-time job in itself. So on Instagram, I'm All Things Be Alexis. I have a website, All Things Be Alexis, where folks can shop for jewelry, specifically earrings. I have kind of a subscription box situation that I do there. But I'm really utilizing my social media and Instagram and Facebook platform right now, especially because the good thing about having my own business is that I have a platform to speak about other things that are important to me. So the mental health, the wellness. So definitely using Instagram for that. So I always tell people like follow, share. I usually do a lot of vending throughout the DMV. And so with COVID, that's kind of been slow, but I love seeing people in person. I think that's what I miss most is just, I like the excitement. I like when people are coming and talking and buying and shopping and just that sharing of energy and ideas. So how to support, tell people about all things Be Alexa. Follow me on the stuff. Shop if the spirit moves you. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, and we gonna make sure we support. I look forward to getting my shirt so that I
Yes.
get wear it on it and wear it on my interviews. My next question is: you spoke about public health with HIV.
Mhm.
Okay, so how? Okay, so I've done a lot of work in the community with my parents and my sisters and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And it can be depressing. How are you not depressed by that? Like when you see that, when you see the overwhelming number of people who have it and stuff, like how does that not depress you?
So honestly, I try to focus on the resilience, right? So when I first started in HIV, I started in outreach. I was the condom, literally, in clubs,
Okay.
in clubs and bars, etc. Talking to people about safer sex practices. And then I moved from there to actually doing HIV testing. And that's when it was hard. I think that's when it was really at my hardest because I was testing a lot of people in DC in particular and giving back a lot of positive results for very young people. That's when I was like, man, I don't know if I can continue to do this. And I took a pause for a minute and I was working with homeless women in a shelter, homeless and low income women. And again, I've always been a nonprofit. I've always kind of been in service, but in doing case management. However, I found that a lot of the women that were case managing my clients were also HIV positive. So I never really left the field.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got back into HIV specifically and doing case management. So being able to help people find the support they need after they receive diagnosis is a very different thing. And I think that's where I got to see resilience. That's where I got to see people talking more about not being ashamed, talking about removing stigma and moving towards hope, finding resources to help them thrive rather than survive is really big. So it became more of a beacon of light, I think. And so what I do now is I work on a national level and I work with state health departments. And so that's a whole nother level of depression sometimes, but but it's still my passion. It's still my drive. I want us to be healthy in a variety of ways, no matter what that looks like. So, and how we define health, especially for Black people. I want us to be healthy. So, what are those resources that I can share? How can I have more conversations or bring more things to the forefront that we're not talking about? So, about 2 years ago, I started to be very intentional about when I was vending. Yes, I'm promoting my business, I'm promoting my earrings, but I also have my bowl of condoms and lubricants and dental dams, and we can have these conversations, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Folks do. Oh, you thought you were just coming to get a bracelet? No, friend, I got something for you. When was the last time you were tested? Like just but I've always kind of been that kind of person where it's like you're here, you're in this moment, let's talk. And maybe maybe I can share something with you that you hadn't thought about or to consider or pass on to the next person. So it's been that, it's been mental health. I speak very, very openly about that. Because again, I want us to be well, no matter what that looks like, in whatever platform I have the opportunity to use to do it. I'm going to use it. So.
Beautiful. Now I'm coming to mental health. But I want to deal with my sister Miriam says, "Thank you very much for the work you do in the community. Wonderful."
Hi, Miriam.
My next question about the HIV. It's such a big deal. I'm in Atlanta. You know, we used to live in DC, so I know it's big in DC, big in Atlanta.
Yeah.
What can people do to stay safe and stay aware?
Have conversations. Have conversations with when you feel safe, right? Have conversations with your partner about their sexual health and practices. Um, Make sure that you are getting tested regularly, despite your relationship status, making sure that you're staying on top of your own wellness. Um, Knowing what resources are available to you in your area, whether it be for testing, whether it be for safer sex supplies, etc. Um, HIV has come a long way. I've been in this work now for almost, it's come a very long way. I think we are now having more open conversations that we always should have been having, because there are also um, more dollars behind it. And a lot of there are more opportunities for preventative measures like PrEP, condoms, etc. And now, especially areas I do a lot of work with rural health departments and jurisdictions in the South where they weren't having conversations and keeping things very quiet and closeted. And so now there's a push to pull back some of that stigma, pull back some of that secrecy, that shame, to be able to say, okay, if you are engaging in whatever you choose to do, how can you do that safely? There are resources for that. So, yeah, it's come a long way. I feel like we still have a long way to go. But the more we're having conversations in all spaces and not making it taboo, what are we talking to our young people about? How are we making sure that they know how to stay safe? I used to do STD testing in high schools. The babies, one, they don't drink water, and two, it's like so much misinformation still, you know. So making sure that we speaking truth to young people, especially about how they can protect themselves and how they can protect their peers. I think that's what it really comes down to.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for the work that you do. Now, mental health. What can we do to? I'm all like I literally my sister being a counselor. So many people who I bring on to talk about therapy, trying to take the taboo off of it. What can we do to further, push the agenda of therapy and counseling and mental health?
Talk about it. I think we have to continue to talk about it. I am open about my mental health, like very much so. I rarely get into a space where I'm not mentioning my therapist or being in therapy, because I know that it has literally saved my life. I know that I've come a long way and still have a long way to go. I know there have been times where it has been very dark. I know that there have been times where I've been very well. And so, and to engage in therapy. I think the misconception is that you only need therapy if you're in a crisis, or you only need therapy when you're depressed. Therapy is preventative as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, how are we encouraging it? How are we normalizing it? And especially among Black people, we have to normalize therapy. We have to normalize mental health and wellness. Friday morning at 7 a.m., I was in my car having my session with my therapist, because I'm not going to miss that. I know it's my self-care, but I also know that me being able to take care of myself in this way, how that impacts my family. So I am young people. This pandemic and being at home, I know has really changed my son. He's 8. Like I've seen the difference. So when there was an opportunity for nature-based play group therapy, I was like, oh, signing him up for that. Because one, he's always in the screen, and two, I want him to know early that it's okay to talk about his feelings, to be able to have the space and outlet to do that safely. I'm always checking in. But I know there's going to come a time when he's not going to want to talk to mommy. But I always want him to know that there are tools and other people in his network that he can talk to. we have to remember that there are options. I wish they were more widely available or more people knew. But if you have insurance, whatever that looks like, there are options. How do you tap into them? If there aren't a friend, I think we need to have somebody that we can talk to openly and honestly about what we're going through that's not necessarily our friends or family.
I agree.
Yeah, because I think, yeah, because friends and family is great. But there really is strength in having somebody else to talk to and to process and to learn and to discover new coping strategies. And I think that has always been my biggest takeaway. So I'm telling people that there's benefits in it, even if I've been in therapy for a while, but even if it's more you just need a tune-up. So maybe you're just doing a couple sessions or just to stay on top of how you're feeling, because I think we may suppress things. The world is heavy right now. The world is heavy. And so how are we dealing with that in a way that is not only healthy but productive? I know a few, like probably 2-3 months ago, I gave my therapist the day off. I had a session scheduled, and I said to her, literally, we logged on, and I said to her, I'm giving you my session. And she was like, what? I was like, I'm giving you my session because I was like, whatever you need to do for this 55 minutes, go for a walk, play with your big toe, whatever it is, whatever. Because my therapist is a Black woman. And so I know that, like, what does her self-care look like, right? This is still community. We still have to take care of each other. And I told her, I was like, I'm gonna see you in 2 weeks with the same mess. So this one's on me. Like, but how are we? Helpers need help, and I think I'm learning that even more so, especially right now. How are we encouraging each other? But yeah, I normalize it. I talk about mental health any place and space that I can.
Okay, wonderful. How has your family and support group supported have they been supportive of your businesses?
My number one, just like, I'm not getting emotional today. I don't have time, but I'm not crying on the podcast. What's going on? But it is awesome when to have people in your corner and to support your dream and your vision, and not necessarily just people who will hype you up. There's a difference. There's people who are like, yeah, you're great and everything is great. But some who will say, Bianca, maybe you should try this, or have you considered XYZ, but really offering authentic and beneficial advice has been really important. My network, my village, man, like, they are right there ready to repost things or share information or telling their colleagues and friends. I will never forget one day I went to, this was probably 2 years ago, but one Sunday I went to church and there were at least 5 different women with my earrings on. And I was like, okay, like that's a feel, like that's, because there's some days where I'm just don't feel like I'm at the place where I should be, or don't feel like I get into the comparison trap where I'm like, well, so-and-so has a similar business and they have 20,000 followers and they this like it's easy to go down that road. But I'm like, well, on the flip side, I know what my support system looks like. I know how much just love that I get from friends and family. And they're proud of me. At the end of the day, I don't want to let them down. But yeah, they've been awesome. Just what? I'm not crying. I told you I'm not crying today. I don't have time.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, excellent. My next question is, what has been your greatest trial in your entrepreneurship and how have you overcome that?
Self-doubt. Self-doubt. It ooh, it has been, because there's many times where I feel like, so I think especially early on, like, I don't deserve this, or what if they say no, or prime example, and I hope somebody's watching. One time, so I love museum stores, love gift shop stores, right?
Okay.
And it was, I think about 4 years ago now, 3, 4 years ago, the store manager for a museum store in DC in DuPont Circle, the Phillips, contacted me and wanted to carry my jewelry in their store as part of a Jacob Lawrence exhibit. So I was like, what? Like, just hype, excited. So I felt like that kicked things off. So I told my cousin in Chicago, and we were talking about, she was like, oh, at the time she was doing a lot of work with DuSable. So she was like, oh, I wear your jewelry all the time. I told the store manager about you. So I was like, okay. So the woman contacted me. I sent them my stuff sample, and I was telling them, why I would love to store all of these good things. They hit me back with the thanks, but no thanks. I was like, whoa. But I love, but my stuff is dope.
Yeah.
It was a huge blow to the ego. Ego is its own thing. And so it was in that moment I was like, maybe it's not enough. Maybe I'm not doing enough. I went down this spiral of self-doubt. And that, I think, but what I've learned from that is, one, everything ain't for everybody. And two, it is really about timing and opportunity. And it just wasn't the time. Since then, my jewelry has been in other places. That's been really cool. Virginia Museum of Fine Arts. So I got to get into another museum store, which again, I love them. So DuSable said no. And I had a lot of feelings, but at the same time, I was like, maybe it wasn't the time. And maybe I'm never there. But I keep going. I have to persevere. If I want to continue to do this, I'm going to keep going. I'm also learning to say yes to more things, because I get so afraid that I'm like, nope, never mind, or I'm not even going to step out there. Of the rejection. But now when opportunities are coming my way, I'm like, okay, yeah, let me try, at least to try. So I'm learning to do that, every day. I've been doing this for 7 years now, and it hasn't always been great. I'm also, another big lesson is when to take rest, when to rest. So January is my month of rest and planning, and because there's so much, and again, this isn't my full time, so there's a lot of I know for my own well-being that I have to rest, but I'm learning, and then that helps to subside the self-doubt, because I've had that time to pause and reflect and plan my next steps. So yeah, it's a process. This has been and again, I told you I was an accidental entrepreneur, so I did not know what I was getting myself into, but it's been great.
Well, I'm happy for you. My sister Naima says, "Peace, family, peace, Naima." I wish you. We do a lot of work with a lot of the people I know in Chicago with DuSable. That's amazing that we have this. We're in the same, group of setting of people who didn't know that. I wish it was something I could have done to help push that forward. You know yeah, absolutely. What has been your greatest joy in your entrepreneurial business?
Making other people happy. I feel like that sounds, I don't know if that sounds correct, but just having a vision and seeing it come into fruition, right? Seeing the fruits of my labor, like the late nights, the early mornings when I'm doing stuff. I had an idea for shirts, for t-shirts, right? Like I was like, oh, at the time people were loving my logos. I was like, okay, what if I did this? And so then this kids line, these kids t-shirts came about because I have kids and I want them to see I want them to see their image on clothing, on things. My son loves superheroes. Marvel, we are a Marvel family. My husband does not play with that DC. We are a Marvel. we are a Marvel family.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so everything he had was like Spider-Man and just white superheroes. And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what if I put my dope black boy on a t-shirt that and he looked like a superhero, or my daughter and she looked like a superhero, or just images that reflect them. I know representation matters.
yeah.
So that has definitely been one of my greatest joys. And so when the shirts first came out, and I remember it was like summer and the kids were wearing them for like summer camp. My kids were wearing them. And Grace was like, Mommy, it's me on my shirt.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
right
yeah.
there. I'm like, so, it's been my friends have been supporting and seeing, we want to see reflection. That's really important. That's really important. So that has been one of my biggest joys, being able to create something that people love and appreciate, but also to have something that is genuine um, for kids to see. That's huge. I didn't have that. Like I didn't have that as much as a kid. So any way that I can um, encourage that is is a gift. Is joy. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, great. My sister Naima says beautiful. I think that's amazing. Do you sell these shirts, and these shirts are on all things Be Alexis as well? Okay. Excellent. Well, I have 3 more questions that I want to ask you, but before I get to those questions, I want to make sure I give a special shout out to all of the sponsors of this month's podcast. Boom. We want to start with anybody who's watching. I'm gonna put it on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, Cash App the People's Podcast. If you would like your business to be sponsored as well. 1 second. Oh goodness, here we go with this again. All right, hold on. We got Street Premiere, video and production. My goodness, hold on 1 second. These slides, man. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Boom. Okay, there we go. Boom. Street Premiere, media and production, 4K. My brother Rashad and Jamal. Thank you. They do video, television. Thank you very much for your 4K production. If you need some editing, my sister Mimi's book, Mary ABC I Love Me, Children and Coloring Book, which is on Amazon. My sister Naima's Dance Studio, Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to women, young girls all across the world. The Instagram, she just did a big deal where she can actually stay on point Dance Academy, where she can teach children inside the studio. So she's very excited about that. We're happy for you. Our brother in St. Louis, Supreme Men's Clothing and Fashion. Thank you very much for your sponsorship. He ships clothing everywhere as well. Thank you very much, sir. Brother Ronald out in Phoenix, Arizona. He does security and event planning, and they travel all around the country to put on productions. Thank you all. Raising Black Millionaires. That's our sister Tia. She teaches economic empowerment and development to young Black children about finances. Thank you very much for your support. Brother Kenneth, bow tie maker extraordinaire, thank you very much for your work. If you all need a bow tie, reach out to Brother Kenneth. Todd X McGraw, Supreme Team Insurance Group. If you all need some insurance, please reach out to our brother. Thank you very much. Exodus, A New Way of Life, Credit Restoration. Thank you very much. If you all need your credit done. Khalid's Boutique, they do custom t-shirts and they do custom clothing as well. Thank you all very much. I'm coming right back to you, Bianca. Our brother Chantel X, he does refrigerating and shipping, and he's called himself the X and X shipping and refrigerating. Thank you very much, brother Chantel, for your work. In Chicago, Jabbar Muhammad, Client First Construction. He does painting, carpentry, flooring, plumbing. Thank you very much, brother Jabbar. My sister Landra El Muhammad, Navy Beans More Than Bean Pies. Thank you all very much. Dr. Henry M. Carter in Atlanta, King Henry's Turkey Legs. Thank you very much for the support. I'm coming right back to you, Bianca. Home decoration and decor. Thank you very much to our sister who does that. Thank you all very much for your sponsorship. Brother Rashad in Chicago, COVID-19 disinfection and cleaning company. We wish you nothing but the best and success if you all need some stuff cleaned up. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ. Thank you very much, Dad. Last but not least, my 2 books, No Father, No Excuse and Cleopatra, both of which are on Amazon. Thank you all very much for your sponsorship. If you all have a business, please let me know. I will promote it. Cash App, $ of Cash App, the People's Podcast. Right back to you, Sister Bianca. Boom. Be right with you. What do you do for fun?
What is fun? I'm in the house. No. It is really, what I do for fun. Honestly, these kids, like, since I've been home, I have been spending more quality time with my children. Like, it's a lot. Like, I'm working from home, we're virtual learning, we're doing all these things. But fun has been, my daughter, she is a force, and I love that. She will gather the people in our home and be like, we're gonna have game night. Okay, Grace, say no more. So fun has been looking like game night, movies with her. My son Noah is really into Legos. So if he gets stuck, the only times if he gets stuck, it's mommy, can you help me? And so watching him build and spending time with him has been fun. Yeah, so I think that's what I do for fun. And take naps. I like a good nap. That sometimes in itself is a good time.
Yeah, okay. Beautiful. Okay, now behind me I have some albums that are very impactful. So to me, these are some of my favorite albums of all time. If you could choose an album of your choice, which album would you choose that represented, you as your favorite album? Not this behind me, like you choose your own album. Which album would you choose?
Pressure. Does it have to be just one?
Yeah, let me just start with one. You can go with more than one, but let's just start with one.
Okay, I'm gonna start with one because I've had it on repeat lately, and it's the soundtrack to The Harder They Come. And so it's reggae, it's Jimmy Cliff, it's Toots and the Maytals, it's the Melodians. But it was an album, that soundtrack my mother used to play a lot when I was a kid.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. Harder They Come soundtrack is on again. But now as an adult, I play it all the time. I feel like every song is meaningful in this particular stage. So that, and I love old reggae anyway. We're Jamaican, that's all I know. But that would have to be, literally every day I've been playing it. So yeah.
Okay, I gotta get some reggae albums behind me as well. I gotta get some.
I gotta get
yes. Okay, my brother Rashad, he's obsessed with the Nas and Damian Marley Distant Relatives album. I think that he's obsessed with that. He played that so much. I was like, all right, you gotta let it go. Okay.
You can't go wrong with a Marley. So
Rachel Sterling is stepping on. Oh yeah, this is definitely her first time watching. What's up, Rachel? I know that's your friend from high school. Speaking of high school, being in Naperville, I remember you always making turkey legs. I mean, like we're cooking that turkey legs, Jamaican like jerk chicken, curry chicken or jerk chicken. Which one?
Jerk chicken. It was my mother. Never me. Yeah. My mother.
Oh, your mom made it. Okay. Yeah, I remember you used to sell them and stuff like that. That was always good. Thank you for taking time out of your. Rachel says, "Go Huskies!" Of course. And we rooting for your son, Rachel. I don't know what's going on with the COVID situation, but we hoping that your son gets to play football again because he was doing big things. Shout out to the triple option left. I play football for they as well. I know how it goes. I just want to make sure we say this again because I'm put on YouTube and share on Twitter and Instagram. All things be Alexis.
That's me. Yes.
Boom. We're gonna support it. And you got the t-shirts, you got jewelry, whatever.
Yep. All of the things. All of the things. And if it's not on the website, you can get it via Instagram. Okay,
beautiful. Okay, and what's going on? Rhonda says jerk chicken, and Naima says yes, go Huskies. Okay, we get it, y'all. Naperville, we understand how it is. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to keep this podcast. This means a lot to me. We're gonna make sure we keep supporting your business. Anything we can do Man, this just means a lot. I'm happy. Please give your family our love. I've always, loved your mother, of course, Tristan. And man, just shout out to your younger brother as well, everybody. And shout out to Rachel and her family for doing man, holding it down in Naperville.
Right?
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
it. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, boom. And I'm putting it on YouTube right now. Thank y'all for watching.